we're live. We are live right now from Puerto Rico. But the great news is this isn't about Puerto Rico. This is all about a friend of mine who just, I'm so excited to be in business with this guy. I mean, it's just fun to have people that have been in my life for so long come into our business world and be in business with us. So today I'm really excited, guys, because Mark Adams is a longtime friend. Good grief. Mark, I'll have to ask you exactly what year we met, but longtime friend, was a client of mine in the Hobster era, marketing client. This guy blew things up. We always loved using him as an example. And more recently, we had a chance to start working together in a coaching capacity, and I'm just excited about that. And now the good news is he's joining us right here at eXp in the Expert Tribe, and I'm so excited. Mark, welcome to the tribe. Welcome to eXp.
Don, thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you and what you mean to me. It means a lot. We met about 20 some odd years ago, and there's not very many people you meet in a lifetime that you can actually, put your name to. And I know you know this, and Jim Rohn taught us that. It's like when your name is in somebody's testimony, you've done something, and you can't say that about a lot of people. So first of all, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you, and I'm not here to say how wonderful you are, but I am, and I thank you a lot. And this is an amazing journey, and you've opened my eyes to things that I didn't know even existed anymore, and I'm so pleased to be a part of this process and this venture in this journey. And you've got me on your shoulders now, and so that's a lot of responsibility.
It is, man, and you're a big guy, so that's exciting stuff. This is my 3+ decades of being in the real estate space, and my greatest joy has been watching people succeed and helping people get over the finish line. People that were brand new in the business and like people that were around a long time, never doing much, and then boom, they're winning. And you were a great example because you changed your life so much when you got into real estate. You just came from a completely different place, and suddenly, boom, you're in real estate, and you really made things happen. Why don't you tell us about that? Tell us about the transition. It's been a while. This isn't like last week you moved into real estate. But tell us a little bit about your background and your history, and then we'll talk about what's happening.
I think that's kind of like the cool thing about real estate is how it can change your life. And before I got into real estate, I was a welder, and there wasn't much growth opportunity in the welding industry. Although I loved what I did, I enjoyed what I did, and I felt like God gave me these hands for a reason. But he gave me the real estate industry, and quite frankly, I have never grown so much until I got into the real estate industry. And quite frankly, again, it wasn't until I met you. And once again, I'm going to say this a lot, so forgive me. It's not all about you, but I'm going to. And it's just those little things. Well, it's just those little things that you said that made such a big difference in my life. I mean, I'm in the industry less than a year, and the first thing you asked me was, Mark, what are you reading? I'm like, I don't read books. I mean, who reads books, right? And that was a catalyst in my life, and I started reading books. I became a student immediately because you said, you know what, Mark, you got to be reading books because what you put in your brain is what's going to come out, and I was like, okay, I'm going to start reading books. And so I remember going to one of your events, and you said, Mark, you need to do this, this, and this. And I'm like, okay, just tell me what to do and I'll go do it, and at the time I really didn't know you. It wasn't a trust thing. Then I just didn't know. I just saw that you had this product and I did it. And our business, probably tripled whatever. I think we went from 1.5 million the first year to 6.5 million the next year. And we just stayed in contact with each other. And that's that's a big jump. And we lost track with each other. Rightfully so. It was my side. And you came back into my life, and you once again, it reminds me of that time, that jump that we did when we first got in the industry. I feel like that now. I feel like that, I was been stagnant for a while. Now the growth was still there, maybe personal growth, and reading the books and stuff. But the business side, and I was kind of floundering, not knowing exactly what direction I should go into. And you kind of shared, opened my eyes to things that I hadn't seen before, and that's eXp. And I wasn't looking. I've been with KW for 15 years, and I believe that they were the catalyst to get me kind of where I am now. And I thank them for that, and it was awesome. But to be honest with you, what you shared with me, and quite frankly, I don't even know the full aspect of it yet. You're still giving me it in small pieces, and um, I, I I'm like blown away. I'm starting to put it together, and it's gigantic. And I haven't been this excited about real estate in 20 years, and I'm really looking forward to the ride. I really am.
That's super fun. Well, the best part, Mark, is you're such a sincere guy, and the way that you dive into stuff, it's like you know what to do, or you're told what to do, and it's like you do it. You're an executor. You're a guy who makes things happen. But I really, honestly, when you told me that you were going to come over and join us, and I was just like, this is a high quality guy. I mean, everybody that's watching this, I mean, they may be watching on your channel or my channel, and maybe nobody else is watching in the whole world. But if you're really watching, it's like, Mark, you're just a high quality man, and I really respect the way you do business, your values, and I'm just so happy to be in business with you, because I think this is a time when we have a chance to influence a lot of people who are really
Right,
lost. A lot of people are struggling right now. I mean, a lot of realtors are struggling, let alone the whole freaking world. But
right,
we're really at a time where we can be leaders, community leaders, industry leaders.
right.
We can really touch people's lives. And I love the fact that you stepped into it and went, you know what, this is like a next chapter. This is like the next thing in my world. And I think I'm excited about being in business with you. I know your influence. I know how people feel about you. I know how you train people, how you coach people. What are you most excited about? I mean, first of all, you're excited. Why did you make the move? What was like the tipping point? What was the thing? There it is.
Well, once again, I'm going to go back to you again. We had a conversation, I guess it was about maybe 4 months ago, 5 months ago. And this is what really struck me, is because you know this as well as I do, that there are some amazing people in this industry. And to be able to be that close to them, to get the information that they're getting firsthand from a collective pool of people is just unheard of, right? You don't get that kind of connectivity. And I remember asking you this question. You said, hey, Mark, I'd love to coach you. And I said to myself, no, wait a minute. And once again, I'm not trying to say how wonderful you are, but I just respect you and I trust you because you know as well as I do.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
You know as well as I do, there's a lot of bull dive out there and everybody's trying to sell their product, right? And see, that's a tough thing for me because I don't want to hitch my wagon to bull dive, right? So you said, Mark, this is what you said, and I'll never forget this. You said, this is full circle for me. He said, you're not starting from the beginning. You've got an awesome business. You've got systems in place. All I want to do is take you to the next level. But by the way, I got this cool platform I want to share with you, right? And I said, okay, I'm game. And then you started methodically just sharing little bits and pieces on how this amazing eXp platform can be used in my business. And really, I got to be honest, it opened up like, things in my brain that just hadn't existed in years. And you know this about me, I'm a very training centric person. You tell me what to do and I'll do it. I have to believe you. It can't be bull jive, right? Which we already had that relationship. And by the way, my whole life, and this is an adult moving forward, it's all about relationships. Everything I do moving forward is about relationships. If it's not about relationships, I don't want to be a part of it. And I told you this, and I think it was the same conversation. I said, Don, are you going to make me make a bunch of phone calls? And you laughed. You said, Mark, you've known me for 30 years. And I said, well, 20 years. And you said, look, I'll never ask you to make phone calls. It's all about letting people know who you are as a person, first and foremost. That's who's going to come work for you. And I kind of made up my mind then, but you know as well as I do, it's a process, right? I have a business partner, and I had to go through that process with them as well, too. But that was kind of the catalyst in taking this amazing eXp platform and then letting me be understanding how that's going to work in my business. And then, oh, by the way, this is Don Hobbs saying, hey, Mark, I've got a collective pool of information, other coaching clients that I'm working with, that together we're building something big. And I want you to be a part of it. And this is, again, me talking. You don't get that in this industry too often, not at that level. And I recognize that. And quite frankly, I didn't think it was true, to be honest with you. And then and I'm just being straight with you. I mean, because it just doesn't happen. And you know this. You've been around. You know this. To be involved with that type of collective knowledge is just unheard of. And then, by the way, I'm going to give it to you, right? And so it was, and there's a little bit of doubt, right? Because I'm human, and you're starting to unfold this little bit by little. And to me, it's like every time we meet, you're hitting me with this amazing information. It's like, where was this? Where was this?
Exactly.
So
Yeah, where was it? I think that's the biggest thing is that, it's one of those things that we jokingly say, once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. And I
right,
had a guy the other day tell me something I've heard from a lot of people. This is like the biggest no-brainer in the world. But it's not that easy when you're connected to the people you're around. You're not looking. You're
right,
friends. You've been with them for a long time. They're part of a company that touched your life in a special time in your
correct,
real estate career. It's like, but the thing is, and I know this for a fact because I've got great friends there at that company because
right,
there's kind of Gary Keller's, partner in a
right,
division company, right? And the thing is, there's people there that I just love, and
right,
I still love them, and they're there. It doesn't make any difference. And there's people
right,
that I love, and there's people at Coldwell Banker that I love. And one thing has nothing to do with the other, but as a business decision, I could see for you it was going to make a huge difference in the way that you were going to operate, and then where you were going. More importantly, where are you going? Because real estate has that. It has a cycle to it. It's like, how long are you going to keep doing stuff? I mean, are you going to be 92 years old with the walker and hey, come over here?
yeah,
It's like there's a time when it's time to move into something else. And the growth stages for most people, the natural progression is I want to own a real estate company,
right,
hang my shingle, open my own thing. I don't know if you ever thought that idea of like having my own company, being my own broker.
right,
But it's kind of an insane idea because brokers are getting broker and broker. I mean, there's no money
right,
in brokerage unless you're a monster broker. And
right.
that's a tough thing in itself, right? And so you see these poor guys trying to make a brokerage up out of 6 or 8 or 10 agents, and they're not making any money. They got to sell.
Right.
I didn't want you to go there, and I've saved a lot of people from doing that.
Thank you.
But I think for you, it's just like it was so fun to watch. You get it, and you go, okay, here's my next stage in life.
Right.
Next stage. So now you get to use your training stuff. You get to what you teach, what you believe, what you know. Let's see. I'm seeing there's stuff coming through there. Anyway, there's what you get to know and teach others, how your influence has been so important to people, and they just trust you. And I think them seeing you now. I mean, I'm excited to see your Facebook posts and some of the new stuff, and watch people go, "Hey, where's Mark going? And why did he do that?" And
Right.
I'm interested in that. So we're expecting a good number of your colleagues through the years that you come to know and trust, and who come to know and trust you. I'm sure they want to look at least and see what we're doing over here. But I thank you because our little tribe, we call it our tribe, is kind of like in most companies it would almost be like a region.
Yep.
It's kind of our culture within the culture. The company's
Right.
awesome. What
Right.
the company does is awesome, but then there's this other layer of stuff, and we just want to keep bringing more and more things to our great people like you. So talk to me. What do you see? What's the big thing? What you and Lisa and then your teammates, and I know it's you're scared. Are they going to come over with you? But I mean, what's the real crux of being at eXp now?
So I think you hit it right on the head when you said the word culture. Like I just shared with you that the number one thing in my life as an adult moving forward is I won't have hardly to do with anything unless it has to do with relationships, right? I want it to be, I feel like when you leave this earth, that's the only thing you're going to take with you. It has to be sincere, right? And I believe the people that hire us because they know who we are long before they hire us. And the thing that you just said was the culture, the culture, the culture. So two things it's have driven me from the time we met 20 years ago, which is training and culture. In other words, give me the knowledge, but don't bull jive me. It's got to be a culture where, and I've learned this through the years that, if you open up and you give is the only way that you can receive. And for somebody like you that's saying, hey, by the way, I've got this amazing tribe, this region, and we're all going to get together and we're going to share the best ideas with each other and not expect anything in return. It doesn't get any better. And by the way, it's real. Like, so you're not trying to sell anything to me, it's real.
Right.
And I'm saying when I first saw this, I said, I got to be a part of this in a big way. And then it goes back to, I've got real friends over here And how do you do that? And then, and you know as well as I do, when you leave from one company to the other, you're throwing your stuff over the wall, and then the next day they go in there like, where'd they go? But it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. And I love what you said over and over and over again. I've got friends that are still in this company, this company, and this company. And when I chose to make the decision to go this direction, I made a decision to keep those relationships to the best of my ability. Obviously, I can't control that, right? I can't control what they're going to think. But I went into it with, hey, I appreciate you. I love you guys. I appreciate what we've done together. It's not the same anymore. And quite frankly, in the environment that we're in right now, there's a company out there that's thriving in this environment. And I just said, I've got to be a part of that, because I have to do what's best for me and my family, you know? So when you say what's in it for me and Lisa, or what's our next responsibility is to take this gift that we've been given and then make it the best that we can, not only for us, but I want to be a part of this tribe, right? I don't want to be a person that's just like a vacuum and taking from you guys. I want to be able to be a part of that process. And you know as well as I do, good quality people attract other good quality people, and jackasses, they attract jackasses, right? And that's what it is. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. And once again, I want to be a part of that process. I want to be a part of that glue. I want to be a part of that, whatever secret sauce, whatever you want to call it. I want to be a part of that process. I don't want to be on the sidelines. I want to be a part of that process.
Well, Mark is so freaking excited. He just cursed. I don't know if I've heard you.
Is jackass a curse? I didn't.
I don't know. Maybe not. I hear there's bull jive and then there's jackass. I'm like, okay, he went for it. He's excited. He's pumping up this thing. You know what's fun is that I think about that with the stock that you're now earning and doing the same thing that you've always done. What I love about that is that you've got this place where you can just do what you do, Mark, what you do so well. But for that, you're going to get different rewards. You're going to get the commissions.
Right.
That's easy, right? That's the simple part. And actually, lower caps and all that. But that's not the big reason people move. But when you start thinking about the financial future, I made a comment the other day I've made it before, but I made it the other day to somebody Monday, I think it was. And I said, there's never been a company that's had the financial future of the agent in mind like this company. It's always been about the franchise, or I don't care if it's Century 21 in the 80s or
Right.
in the 90s, always about the franchise, the corporation, then the franchise,
Right.
or the franchisee, and it's never been about the agent. And I again, I don't want to get into I won't call it anyway, I don't want to get into debate with anybody that's watching.
Right.
I'm not trying to put down on anything else, but what I do know is that there are very few things that have ever been written so that the agent is really held up and put in place where it's your business, it's your future, it's your stuff. Usually you have to buy, you have to get in further, you have to go buy a region, buy a franchise, buy a something. And what I love about this for me and for us, I mean, let's face it, Allison saw this thing, almost 5 years ago. It's like 4 years and 11 months ago. And she saw it, and she saw it early on, and she became agent 641. So I was very fortunate. I was, brought in through this relationship. And the reality is I was, I don't know, I don't even know who this company is. And you saw it faster than I did, quite frankly. You saw it way faster than I did. So, she came into this, and when she came in, it was like, wow, I think she made a huge mistake leaving for this nothing, right? But the nothing turned into something major. It went from agent 641, I'm pointing over here because she's over there somewhere, agent 641 to now like almost 32,000 agents. And that's like fastest growing company, I think, in history. I'm pretty sure it's true. And I think
it's funny as you should say that. It's just for the first time in a long time, I was very involved in training, and I went to all the trainings. I remember hearing somebody say, the people that make $1 million or more go to 30 days worth of training a year, right? So I'm like, I'm going to 30 days, right? You just tell me what to do, I'm going to go do it. So I used to go to a lot of training, and I stepped away from some of the training. And my point is that I lost the luster. In other words, if you came to me as an agent, it would have been really hard for you to say to come to my office, because it seemed like the culture had gone. And I don't know what that's attributed to, and it doesn't really matter. The bottom line is that I lost my zest for that office based on what I perceived was a culture shift. And so when you brought that to my attention, I didn't see it at first, right? Because all I saw was you. Not, it wasn't a negative, but all I saw was you. But quite frankly, a lot of what eXp does is invisible if you're my age, because I don't spend a ton of time on the internet, right? Or the technology side. And so you were just giving me a little bit by a little to open up and see. And even last night, I took a class that somebody had shared with me. It was another eXp agent. And once again, it opened up another layer of what eXp is offering. So the person who did this class had nothing to do with eXp as far as financially that I'm aware of, but he did a training on what's going on in the real estate industry, and I took it. And then I said, oh, okay, it makes sense to me. So one thing that I love so much about this is that your willingness, like I know that you and a couple other guys, and I don't know what their roles are, it's like the exact title, but you're doing these seminars every freaking weekend, sharing with us how that we can be better, right? And to me, that's exciting. I mean, to have a person, and once again, I'm not trying to build you up, to have a person of your level to give these trainings with these other people on a regular basis to teach us people, who are a little bit lower to be better. It doesn't get any better than that. And that's happening live every weekend. And it just, once again, it's indicative of a company that understands that if we all go up together, we're all going to be better, right? And nobody gets left behind. And that's a cool aspect for me. And I want to take that same level of excitement, integrity, and gift and give it to my team, right? Because what I believe that whatever happens up here needs to be translated and needs to be going. And I want to bring them with me, and I want them to be a part of it too. Because quite frankly, if they go to the trainings, they're going to see what you're teaching me, and they're going to want to be a part of it.
Well, and again, Mark, I love your zest for your people because I've met your team, I know your folks, but what's also exciting is as a team leader, I don't mean a team leader like anyway, as a leader of a team, you're always looking for either what's best for you or what's best for your team. And in your case, you just brought your agents into a place where they all have a chance to do something cool with their life too. You've given them the ability to grow. You've given them the ability to train. You've given them so this isn't a selfish thing. This is like, you really want what's best for your people. Are you willing to make the move and go through even the discomfort of leaving friends for the business side, which says this is a smart decision and this is a business decision. It's going to change my family and the families that are around me.
Right.
That's who you're really impacting. So extremely exciting. And of course, I don't know if you grew much in the profit share world in your other old life, in that world. I'm not sure if you recruited a lot, but here I'm excited about it because I can see that who you are attracts naturally, and I can also see that that's going to create a whole separate stream of income, which is a real big deal. This is a funny story, and I won't share all the details, but there was a story as we were getting closer to having you over here, and of course, anybody watching this that knows you left a week ago or 2 weeks ago means you were researching this, right? You were looking, and we had you come out. We were going to have you come out to a meeting we were doing in Dallas, Texas, and we had a really big guy in our industry and a really big guy in our company that we love to death. Brent Gove was going to do a session for us. I helped get Tony Robbins for an event, and he was just thrilled. He goes, "I'll come and do an event for you," right? So we're in Dallas, and coronavirus hits, right? I mean, it's like that weekend. Everybody goes, "Are we locking down? Is this like a real thing? Are we, everybody's looking and going, what do we do with this?" And we had a training set up, and we invited you to come and meet our people, our leaders, our key leaders, and then Brent, right? And this is the funniest thing. If you're watching this poor guy. So we finally canceled the day before. We canceled the day before, only to find out that this guy left a day early. And so he's already on his way in, and I'm calling his wife going, "Oh my gosh, is he on a plane? That's funny. Like the whole country is shutting down, and what are we going to do?" So anyway, he arrived. And by the way, Mark, congratulations on the decision that you made there. Also, and thank you so much for the what do you call it? The grace, because you flew cross country only to find out we canceled everything. We weren't showing up, but you got to hang with one of our key leaders, and I thought it was very cool.
Yeah.
That you just took that and you went, you know what? this is a great opportunity other people aren't going to have. And I get a chance to sit in the suite with this guy. A funny story, because nobody was wearing masks. We didn't know you had to have a mask. And you were sitting there in the suite with this guy and just absorbing what one of the country's biggest agents had to say. And I just loved that. It was really comical. But that was also, and remember, we had to call you a different name because we couldn't.
Yeah. I think it was Jack or something then.
Bob, right? But
Yeah,
the fun
you know
part,
what's funny part, Don, is that when I landed, my phone blew up, right? It was you, Allison, and my wife, right? So I finally got to speak to my wife, and she said, "Mark, I've already got you another ticket. All you got to just go to the ticket counter. We can get you a flight out of there." And I said, I'm already here. I hadn't even spoken to you yet. So I'm already here. There's a reason I'm here. I don't believe in accidents, and I don't believe in coincidence. There's a reason. I said, let me check it out. And quite frankly, I didn't really know what was going on at the time. I didn't know all the details as far as what you had planned. I
right?
just knew that, hey, it's March. This place is completely, it holds 5,000, and it's me and two other people there, basically. I said, you know what? I'm going to hang here. And then you told me, well, you know what? And what I love so much is that you really were concerned for me. And I know Allison was too. And you were like, Mark, I have already talked to them. They're going to meet with you, whatever. And I'm like, hey, I'm open for whatever. And it goes back to what I just said earlier. When you hitch your wagon to somebody like yourself that's connected to these other people, you don't really know what and how you're going to be impacted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I've been around long enough to know that when and the other thing that excites me too is every time I talk to you, you're excited for this industry, right? And and I would say somebody who's been in this industry for 30 years has a lot of bruises and a lot of scars and a lot of cuts. They're usually on the other side of the spectrum, going down the ladder, not keep going up. You know what I'm saying? So to be a part of that, and it has nothing to do with age. It's just 30 years in the industry, you're going to get beat up, right? And once again, you've taken that. I've chosen this. It's been good, and oh, by the way, it's getting better. And I recognize that. I'm always looking at that when I see people. I'm always looking deeper than just the
yeah.
salesman, if you will, right? I mean, you're a salesman. You always have been, and you're proud of that, right? But and so am I, and so am I. I'm deeply proud of that. But at the same time, people of any, I don't know what the correct word is, substance, quality, they will see past that really quick if it's not real. And to be a part of that, and then lo and behold, I'm in a room with Brent and James. And I mean, you talk about two amazing people to share and give some of their best stuff to me. Because I mean, they were talking to me. I know they were on the Zoom, but they were talking to me. I was in the room and I was on the other side of the camera. And that doesn't happen. That's once in a lifetime.
It was a once in a lifetime deal. It was really cool the way you responded to it. And after it was all said and done, couldn't have been happier that it happened that way. But at the time, it was like freaking out. I was like, we're sending him into the coronavirus hell. I was like, oh my gosh, it was crazy. I can appreciate that Lisa was trying to get you out of there and get you home safely, right? But I thought that was really awesome. Listen, I think there's lots of little pieces that keep unfolding, and we're going to keep exploring this. And what's cool about you is just it's next step. You're a doer. You're a grinder. And I just know that together we're going to create some incredible stuff. And I know that if there's anybody that's watching this and seeing you coming over, and by the way, I remember when I told Allison that we'd had the conversation, and the original conversation, I go, I think he's kind of interested, and he's such a quality guy. And I forget, it was a call or two later, and I brought her into it, and I really wanted her to meet you because
Right.
such a quality guy. And then I got to speak to Lisa. I hadn't spoken to her for some other situations here about a couple of months before that. And I just think that we landed a great guy. I love mega agents who are making stuff happen, but I also love when they've got huge hearts and they've got sincere desire to help their clients, far more to help the industry. And I know you're even doing a group right now where you're helping local business.
Yeah.
And I think you're a quality guy. We're so excited and having the chance to work with you. And I just think that with the lead generation platform that we've got, with the ease of use, I mean, you're going to get so used to it. I took another KW guy in there the other day, and he's like, I was like getting served here in like 30 seconds and 50 seconds. I go to my office, I can't find anybody, you know. Of course, right now you can't go to the office, but I think you're going to continue to see this unfolding and unfolding and
I
unfolding,
know.
and it's going to be remarkable. So I'm just so excited that you chose to join us. I'm so excited and honored by the comments you made. It's always so cool. I got choked. Really choked up. Not choked up like I'm going to cry, but choked up in a way that our relationship means so much to both, to both of us. Don't go away. I'm here.
You're good. You're good. I would just say, once again, you're a very humble guy, but it goes both ways, brother. It's not just how much, that I mean to you, it's how much you mean to me. And it goes both ways. And quite frankly, it goes back to what you said earlier. Those don't come around too often, I mean, you look back in your relationships. I mean, how many people can you just say in the last 20 years that you really enjoy being around and want to be around, right? It doesn't happen, and it's not an accident. We didn't come back together by accident, and you know that. What I believe. And then the other part is what I said to you earlier. There's a responsibility, not only on your part but my part, and our responsibility is to take this amazing gift that you've been given, that I've been given with this company, and make sure that whenever our paths cross with somebody else who needs this, we have an obligation to share with them, hey, this is what's going on in my life, and it's changed my life. And I've already seen my whole marketing has changed since me and you have met, based on what you have learned from past experience in this company. And that's a cool thing, right? And I've got the torch. You did it, you gave it to me, I've got it, and it's my responsibility to share that. And that's a cool responsibility. That's a positive responsibility, and I look forward to that.
With every opportunity, and this is for anybody watching this, if you're ready, I mean, for every opportunity that we get, there is that responsibility, Mark, and that's a beautiful part. I have a friend of mine who was quoting a book, and he said this guy, this billionaire, had said to him, there's four opportunities that every American, this guy's opinion, right? This billionaire's opinion is that the average American will have four opportunities to get wealthy in their life. And of course, the joke that John made when he was telling the story is he said, I don't know if this is your last one and you've wasted the other three, if this is your first one, you have to be ready. I don't know. But this is one of those, right? This is one of those. And along with that opportunity goes the responsibility. So I'm just going to say, man, we're excited to have you here. Allison, I just saw, piping in that she's really excited to be in business with you. She's, this woman is brilliant at what she's doing. She's building this culture and making great things happen on a team-wide basis, on a regional basis.
Yeah.
And in the lives of a lot of people as well. And I'm just honored to be in business with her. Love her to death. And, I think it's really interesting. I'm going to finalize. This will be my final comments. And that is, it was really interesting when we got back together again and we finished our coaching calls. At the end of a coaching call, you'd say, love you, brother. And I was like, how cool is that I get to be in business with people who will finish a call and say, love you, brother. And literally, that's how I feel about you, Mark. So I'm so excited to be in business with you. It feels like my little brother finally made it over. And here, right? We're going to do the funny part of that is I'm like 5'7" and this guy's way bigger. So it's not my little brother, it's my big little brother. But anyway, I'm super excited we're in business together. And
I wish you would have ended the call anything but little brother. Now the responsibility level went through the freaking roof. Oh my God. Now I actually got to do something, before. Well, I guess little brothers can screw up too. So maybe I still have that in me. But, you said something kind of cool, Don, and I'll finish up too. I don't know Allison that well. I mean, obviously I've met her a few times, and this is one thing that I know, like, once again, cool, honest, great people don't associate themselves with anybody else but that, right? I mean, so I look forward to exploring the relationship with her as well too, and seeing how she can be a part of my region as we, go forward. And it's really cool. It's just, there's so many aspects that I don't know yet that's unfolding. And it's so exciting because it's just the tip, right? There's 90% below the surface, right? And I get to be a part of that, So I can't tell you how much I thank you. I know you're sincere. I know you're honest. I know she is. I look forward to following you guys, and it's scary at the same time. I'm going to be honest. I mean, opening up an area in your life that hasn't been opened up before is scary, but I'm excited about the prospects. I really am, and not only that, like we just talked about, bringing other people along too, and let them face in their fears. You know, it's cool stuff. It really is. So thank you for allowing me to hitch my my wagon to your coach, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, we're looking forward to transforming Richmond, Virginia real estate from a consumer point of view, revolutionizing Richmond real estate agents and giving them something that's super exciting. I know you've got several good leaders there that are part of this, but we'd like to have them be part of our tribe. And then, man, having you there is like solid as a rock. So we look forward to that. And I'm just looking forward to every single day. You let us know how we can help you. We're building something that's extremely serious. And in this day and age with coronavirus and people can't get in their offices, they don't know where their support is, they can't find their brokers, and we are 100% operational. And I mean, I'm not just making this up, making this shit up, but we are fully operational, and we haven't hit a blip of any kind during this time. I don't diminish the strength of this virus and the stuff that's going on, and I don't want to get into politics, but I'm just saying we have not been impacted at all because our way of operating works for this. And the show you were talking about is We Were Built for This. And that's, man, we were built for this. And now you're part of it. So now you're built for this. And I look forward
I'll do one last shameless plug, because I just went through this process, right? And when you're going through, and I haven't been through it in 15 years through the change process, and it's all done online, right? Because there's no forms that you fill out and you fax in anymore, right? And it was quite hairy going through that process. And it was text, email, calls, and we got a hold of everybody through this process. Everybody at eXp, and there were several different departments we had to go through, and we got a hold of the onboarding, we got a hold of broker, we got a hold of expert partners, everybody we got a hold of. And it didn't really matter what time of day or night they were available. It's like I was saying, oh no, we'll take care of it tomorrow. They're like, oh no, I'll get it done. I'll get it done. I was like, no, tomorrow, it's okay, So I'm not just saying that. There was some like, holy crap, you're still working moments. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, dude. That doesn't exist in our world anymore, So take that for whatever you want it,
Here's for the second time. We got to go. All right, man. I'll talk to you soon. This is awesome. I look forward to lots more stuff. This is just the beginning. We will do this again in 6 months, and you'll have a whole new story about.
I love it.
All the layers of cool stuff that you put in your business and all that. So excited. We'll see you. I'll talk to you in the next few days. But man, thanks. Glad you're here.
Love you, brother. Love you too, Allison.
See you, man.
Take care.